Hello everyone, welcome to this Blender tutorial. Today I want to show you how to create this Groundhit smoke effect with the Blender smoke simulation. Okay, let's head into Blender. First of all, I'm working in the Blender internal render engine, and let's begin by adding a simple circle, and let's make sure it has a triangle fan inside. Press Tab to enter edit mode, 7 to enter top view, and at first I will scale this down. Then from top view press Shift D to copy this. A bunch more. What this is going to do is the following. Each of these circles is going to basically be one spot where the bullets would hit the ground or whatever you want to use this effect for. And basically I would just place these circles everywhere where I want a bullet hit to appear. And when I'm done, I press Tab again to exit the edit mode. And we have now an object with multiple circles. To this object we want to add a particle system. This is going to emit the actual smoke later on, or we're going to use this to give to tell the smoke simulation where the smoke will appear. I will call this smoke particle. We need only very few particles, like 100. They won't even be really visible. We just use them to set up to give some data to our smoke simulation. And we only need this to run for 24 frames or something like that. And the overall simulation will only be like 100 frames or something. But now the particles fall down. So we have to, under field weights, deactivate the gravity and maybe give them a bit more tempo in the up direction. And now if we simulate this, the particles fly upwards. By the way, under particle settings, deactivate the render. We don't want these the emitter to appear, and you could probably also already disable the rendering of particles and just display them as points, because we don't need to render the actual particles. They will just give some data about the speed and direction to the smoke. So now all these particles appear at the same time. That's not what we want. Therefore, under the texture panel, make sure you have the particle texture selected, add one, and we call this timer, and we use a blend texture, colors, ramp. Let me see what I'm doing here. And right now we see the emission starts from here and goes over to the other side. That's not really what we want. We could try to switch to vertical and see what effect this will have. The particles appear in the right direction, first here and then here, but it's not really even. That is because right now the texture is just mapped via generated coordinates. That's not very good. But first of all, let me increase the cache size before I fix that. Decrease the cache size. Step 1. Every frame I want a cache for the particles. So back to the texture. How do we map it correctly? Simple. We add a plane. In top view we scale it along the y-axis by pressing S and Y until it covers the whole plane. I will call this thing mapper So the mapper sits on top of our spots on the ground, and we can move it to layer 2. We don't need to see it. And with our ground hits selected, we go to mapping, texture, mapping, coordinates, object, and we select mapper. And what does this do? Not what it should. Huh. Let me quickly clean the cache. Okay. Maybe if we switch to ease and with ease, switching the ramp from linear to ease, and maybe darken the end a little bit. And now, one after the other, our particles start showing up. And now we don't even need to have a lifetime of 50 anymore. We can reduce this to 2. And now we can see a bit a bit more clearly how our smoke will appear. First here, and then it will gradually go from one to the other. Okay, now for the smoke. With our ground object selected, quick effects, smoke, and scale the domain so it's a bit smaller. Then with our Groundhit object, we change the flow source from mesh to particle system. Select our particle system. And select initial velocity. And what will this do? As we can see, starting here, one hit after the other lets the smoke appear. Now to make this look a little bit better, we select smoke high resolution, and I'm not going to change the divisions right now, but I will add a dissolve of about, let's say, 15. And now this way, the smoke is generated and then fades out, but I might need to make our domain bigger again. And now let's see what this looks like. The smoke shows up and then dissolves, and you could, to make it look even better, increase the divisions. And that's basically it. Now you could render this out and overlay it over some video footage, whatever you like. I hope you found this useful. Happy blending and see you next time.